What is up, everyone? We are back for the second video of the night. Today, we are going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns. Mostly, them hiring Mike Budenholzer, the former coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Phoenix Suns have had this would be their third coach in the last 3 seasons. Of course, back in the 2022-2023 season, they had Monty Williams, who got canned after they got blown out by Denver in Game 6 of the second round of the NBA playoffs. Then they fired Monty Williams. He went to Detroit. Detroit has sucked, and they brought in Frank Vogel, hoping for some change. They also traded DeAndre Ayton away to the Portland Trailblazers and got Yusuf Nurkic in return. They also landed Grayson Allen this offseason as well. So they were hoping for a big bounce back season with their big three of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and then they brought Bradley Beal in as well after trading Chris Paul to the Washington Wizards. That, unfortunately for them, did not go their way as they got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the playoffs. And as a result, they fired Frank Vogel. Now they've hired Mike Budenholzer, helping to solve all of their problems. So let's take a look at some of Mike Budenholzer's top stats when he was with the Bucks. The Bucks were always known as a fantastic defensive team when Mike Budenholzer was in charge. If you look at their defensive ratings here, they're all very, very good and very, very solid. If you want some perspective on how that was compared to the rest of the league, NBA has got you. The NBA.com website has got you. 2018-2019, best in the NBA. 2019-2020, best in the NBA. Keep in mind, Giannis Antetokounmpo also won Defensive Player of the Year that year. That was the first Milwaukee player to win DPOY since Sidney Moncrief. So Giannis became a superstar defender under Mike Budenholzer. Then in 2020, 2021, I mean, they were still solid. They finished seventh. Shout out to the Sixers for being in third, but they were solid. This was the year they won their NBA championship. And their defense was spectacular against this Phoenix Suns team in the playoffs with some insane Jrue Holiday steals and Giannis Antetokounmpo dunks. I mean, there was an insane Giannis Antetokounmpo dunk, but Giannis block, those were fire. And then last year, with not last year, 2021, 2022, they were sixth. Shout out to the Sixers for being just as good as them. And then Mike Budenholzer's final year, they were first in defensive rating. Shout out Sixers for being third. So Milwaukee has always been top 10 in defensive rating with Mike Budenholzer. Then this year, they were eighth. Granted, they had some coaching fluctuation. At the beginning, they had Adrian Griffin, who got fired after a 30-13 start, and then they brought in Doc Rivers, who was mid as hell for them. And Sixers fans, we know all about this, how mid Doc Rivers was. The Bucks were a mid-ass defensive team to start the year, and then when they brought Doc Rivers in, their defense got better, yet their offense got worse, just as Doc Rivers teams often result in. Good defense and awful offense. So yeah, their defense got better as the season went on. I mean, a large portion of this is because of Jrue Holiday being gone as well, but they still landed eighth in defensive rating. But they were mid at the beginning of the year, if we remember. So it'll be interesting to see because Mike Budenholzer is definitely a fantastic defensive coach. I'm going to be honest, I think he was a big scapegoat after Milwaukee got beat by Miami when Miami was the 8th seed and Milwaukee had that extremely dominant regular season. And it was extremely disappointing to see them go out. Giannis also got hurt in that series. And I think they just needed a scapegoat, and that was Mike Budenholzer. I have a friend that is a diehard Milwaukee Bucks fan. Every time I talk to him about Glenn Rivers or Adrian Griffin, he says, I wish we could have just gotten Coach Bud back. Well, now the Phoenix Suns have it. And the question is this going to solve all of their problems? If I had to make a prediction, no. I think they'll be better. I think they will be better. But does this make them an instant championship contender? Absolutely not. This is their last regular season game against the Timberwolves. I'm just using this to show their roster and their rotation. If you look at this team, how many of these guys are championship caliber players? I mean, you have KD, who's won 2 rings, one of the best players of our generation. So absolutely, he's a championship caliber player. Devin Booker, one of the best players in the NBA. Absolutely a championship caliber player. You got Bradley Beal, he's one of the best third options in the NBA. Absolutely a championship caliber player. But outside of that, who do they really have? Yes, Yusuf Nurkic. They have Yusuf Nurkic, but Yusuf Nurkic has been mid as hell this year. Let me show you. Let me show you. Sorry, I can't type. That's my bad. Yusuf Nurkic this year has 10 point. He averaged 10 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, he's just been the definition of mid this year. Like he's not he's not a player, in my opinion, that really pushes the needle. It's like you look at Phoenix, oh, they're gonna win the championship because they have Yusuf Nurkic as their center. No. I mean, he's just a guy. He's not pushing the needle for me. DeAndre didn't push the needle for me either. I'm just gonna say that. But then you have Grayson Allen. I would say he's a championship caliber player because he's a fantastic three-point shooter. He's one of the best statistical three-point shooters in the NBA. So if you look at just your starting five, their starting five is fantastic. They have one of the best starting fives in the NBA. However, look at their bench. Any of these guys really stand out to you? I'm gonna tell you, they don't stand out to me. So you're gonna need some more guys off the bench in Phoenix. I'm gonna be really interested to see what they do in free agency because if Royce O'Neal is your best player off your bench, I'm sorry, but you're not doing like anything. You're not doing shit. I remember this guy on the Brooklyn Nets when they played the Sixers. All he did was chuck up bricks. And in the playoffs, it was no different. Like this guy was terrible. His 3-point percentage is better than his field goal percentage. That's awful, man. But yeah, I think Mike Budenholzer will be an upgrade over Frank Vogel. He is a championship coach, just like Frank Vogel, but keep in mind Frank Vogel had LeBron. People said LeBron is practically a coach. But I think Mike Budenholzer will definitely be an upgrade. I think Phoenix will be a better defensive team. He'll do a good job of trying to hide guys like Bradley Beal. And even Devin Booker is not one of the best defenders. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't think Phoenix is a championship contender, but they could easily change our minds over free agency. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm just a yapper who don't know ball. See y'all in the next one. Peace.